the meeting to order. If you could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So the check's in.
Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Rogers?
Present.
Trustee Fialko?
Present.
Mayor Yukich?
Present.
You have to complete the roll.
Okay. Trustee Reinders? Trustee Pazmino? Trustee Consolino? And Trustee Laha?
Mayor, if I may, there is no quorum, and the meeting should be terminated as a result of that fact pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2.01 the Illinois statutes. Except as provided in this act, a quorum of members of a public body must be physically present at the location of an open meeting. This group, while it may constitute a majority of a quorum, may not discuss any matter without violating the Open Meetings Act of the state of Illinois. There is no quorum present. The meeting should be terminated. In addition, it's my understanding that none of the members of the, well, let me ask, Trustee Fialko, were you personally served with notice of this meeting?
Not personally, no.
Trustee Rogers, were you personally served with notice of this meeting?
No.
I polled the other members of this village board earlier today, and none of them were personally served with notice of this meeting. Per Village Ordinance 10-001, which has been in place since 2010, which adopted the rules of procedure for special and regular meetings. Special meetings may be called by the village president or any 3 members of the board by written request or notice filed with the village clerk at least 48 hours prior to the time specified for the meeting. At least 48 hours written notice of such special meeting shall be given by the village clerk, which notice shall specify the time and purpose of such meeting and shall be delivered to each member of the Board of Trustees personally, if the member can be found. And if the member cannot be found, a copy of such notice shall be left at the home of such board member in the presence of an adult member of the board member's family, or in the absence of such person shall be left at the residence.
Yeah.
The village clerk shall cause an affidavit showing service of such notice as herein provided to be filed in the clerk's office at the time fixed for such special meeting, together with a statement of compliance with the notices required to be given to members of the media as provided in the Open Meetings Act 5 ILCS 120/1 et sec. If I may ask the village clerk, did you submit such an affidavit?
I wasn't even given the paperwork for the meeting today.
Okay, so you did not serve any of the members.
I did not receive any paperwork.
As parliamentarian pursuant to the ordinance creating legislative council, which is 21-033, I'm advising you, Mayor, and the 2 trustees who are present that this meeting should be terminated at this time to avoid any potential violation of the Open Meetings Act. Because in addition to conducting a closed meeting in violation of the Act, if a majority of a quorum convenes in violation of the Act and conducts business, or convenes and conducts business in violation of the Act, the Open Meetings Act has been violated and a complaint can be filed. So since there's been no service per the village's rules, there's been no compliance with the requirements to establish a quorum of this particular body, this meeting should be terminated immediately.
I'm going to excuse myself from the meeting so that there can be some discussion without violating Open Meetings Act.
We are going to terminate the meeting. We do not have Corey, but with Beth leaving now, now we can. If anyone out there wants to talk, we don't have to have a forum, but we want to hear with what everyone here is here for. I mean, we did set this up. We think that this is something very important. This is our village, and we got to get something set here. I mean, they can't walk away and stop when there's something up.
Mayor, pursuant to the Roberts Rules of Order, which has been adopted by this board and which I've been reminded constantly are in existence, you are not allowed to conduct any type of meeting or convene any type of whatever you want to call this at this point in time. You have literally one choice in this instance, and that is to adjourn this particular meeting without going further. If you want to risk violating the Open Meetings Act, you can do so, but I'm advising that you should not do so. If you want to call a special meeting of individuals to come to someplace other than the village board to conduct private business, you may do so, but you may not do it under the guise of calling a special meeting of the village board and then having a trustee who was present get up and leave so that you think that you can then conduct whatever type of, I won't even use the term business, commentary in the village chambers. That is inappropriate, and you need permission from the whole village board to conduct such a meeting, or what you want to call a meeting, if it's for private business, which is what you're doing right now. So my suggestion would be, don't try to do this under the guise of calling a special meeting. That's all I'm telling you.
We called a special meeting that's here. We're canceling, we're terminating the meeting right now, but these people didn't come here to look at me. They came here to apparently talk to us about whatever's happening in this village. And Carmen, why didn't we give out the things that we discussed?
Mayor, if you want to seek permission from the entire village board to use the village chambers for your own private business, you can do so. However, the videotaping of the meeting by the official, the individual in the back for publication across the village's airwaves should be terminated to avoid any suggestion that this is a village meeting. If this gentleman wants to continue taping, that's his prerogative. He's not a member of the village or employed by the village. You have my advice. I'm telling you that this village board should give permission for a private meeting, which this will become, since you do not have a quorum for a public meeting. I don't need to say anything more. And there will be a complaint filed, I'll guarantee it, in the event you proceed. I'm not going to stick around here any longer.
Mayor, if you adjourn and those cameras go off, we can just speak to each other, right?
What I would advise, because obviously you've heard from legislative counsel making the threat that there's going to be a violation or a complaint filed. What are you saying? There would be a violation of the Open Meetings Act. So what I suggest is the mayor terminate it and adjourn this meeting.
Okay.
And at this point then, if you wanted to, I'm unsure, I mean, we're using this.
We're not being paid to leave the building.
No, what I would suggest is, I mean, if the mayor would like to hear from you, we can go outside.
Okay, all right.
And you're no longer using the boardroom. If,
Thank you.
We all knew about this meeting, so I don't know why.
so for the record, so the mayor, we want to show it being adjourned and terminated, please.
All right.
Okay?
Is there a motion to adjourn?
No, we don't, just show it, call it as adjourned.
All right. We're terminating the meeting, and we're calling it. We'll go outside and